Okay, so thank you all again for joining. I plan on us being together probably about 45 minutes or so. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I really thought it was important for us to connect and come together and for me to be able to just share what I have seen works being virtual. And I'm not talking about these things from throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. A lot of these things I have done personally, as well as my clients have done personally. So I really believe in what I'm sharing, and I'm open to helping anybody that needs to figure out how to implement any of these strategies that I want to share. But let me just quickly give you a little bit about my background so you all know where I'm coming from and my point of reference when it comes to being a doula. My undergraduate degree is in women's health and women's studies, women's health, and public health. That is my background. That's my passion. I come to everything from a public health lens, believing that your health is all encompassing. Your financial health, your social health, your mental health, your physical health, all of that means that you are healthy or you're not healthy. Any of those areas can impact other areas of your life. And as doulas, we know that, right? We see that on a daily basis. We see that with our clients. We know if a mom is really stressed out, that's going to impact her. That whether it's impacting her being comfortable and relaxed enough to breastfeed, or whether it impacts her being able to sleep. So there's so many different areas that are connected, and I love being able to connect my passion for helping women, especially women who are in disadvantaged communities and rural areas. And so this is 2020. For 17 years, I have been in healthcare administration. I running clinics, running hospitals, that's what I did, right? Then adding some military experience and doing that same thing. And when I became a doula, I was a doula before I knew what a doula was. Meaning for about 12 years, I was a doula, meaning I was the one that family and friends called on when they found out they were pregnant, because they knew that I was going to be the one to give them stats about women's health. I was going to tell them about my personal opinion about which hospitals are good. They knew I knew, a network of physicians, those sorts of things. So I was always, so my background is, and then I have an MBA in healthcare administration and management and another master's, but my background has always been on the policy administration government side of the house. So I was never in allied health or midwife or anything like that. But I knew that besides bedside manners, there was a piece that I was missing where I love to serve and help women who were going through not only being pregnant, but then the postpartum phase. And so my way of giving back for years, but again, before I even knew what a doula was helping those who called upon me. And so I did that for a number of years, and now I love being a doula. I will say that I'm almost a full spectrum doula, almost to the degree is that I have not personally had any deaf clients. Pretty much every other client you can think of, I've had a couple of them. I have worked with doulas who are deaf doulas and help them build up their business and their network and their clientele in the area. But I personally haven't served in that capacity, which is why I say you could say I'm almost a full spectrum doula. But I like to say that caveat. And so that's a little bit about my background and who I am. And I am honored that you all are here with me today. And so everybody, can you give me a thumbs up? Just let me know. Can you see the screen? Can you see what is it? Okay, perfect. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, let me move this over and let's get into it. So like I said, not that many, slides. I am totally type A. So I totally like things organized and structured, but by no means is this a formal setting or anything like that. But I really want to make sure that I get some points across. So that's why I have a little presentation here. So let's go ahead and get into it. So some of the things I wanted to touch upon were our challenges. We talked about them a little bit in our introduction, so definitely won't rehash or harp on those, but some of the challenges and how that can really lead us into our new mindset, our new way of thinking. So not only, and I think Tia said, well, not only are the strategies or these ideas, things that we need to do just to address our new world and the pandemic. But then there are ways that we can diversify and have a solid foundation for offering new services after the pandemic as well. And 3 ways that I want to talk about is how to do it, 3 groupings of ways to do it, through communication, catering, or customization, and community. And we'll talk a little bit more about how that can be sustainable. And that's my daughter. She is 2 now, going on 22. Her favorite word is no. Well, her favorite phrase is no, mommy, and with the head. So she keeps me on my toes. I also have a bonus son. I don't like to say stepson, but a bonus son who is 10, and he asked me not to show pictures of him anymore to the ladies. So that's why you only see a picture there of my daughter. If you're not talking about Fortnite, he wants nothing to do with it. And he's like, oh, that's so boring. So that's why you only see my picture of my daughter. Maybe you'll see him soon one day, but that's why. So that's a little bit about myself. So let's get right into it, ladies. Let me move this. So again, 3 main groupings that I wanted to talk about that I think a lot of the virtual offerings that we have are really grouped into communication, community, and customization. So let's get right into it. So the new environment that we have, right? It changes all the time. Literally, not only does it change on a national level, but it changes state by state. It changes region by region, it changes community by community, hospital by hospital. So when I say it's a ton of information and a ton of changes that we have to understand, I think that is part of our calling. And almost would say even duty to our current clients is to be able to know what's going on and be able to communicate that effectively. Just how, for those who are birth doulas, just how when we are going into a birth, we are our patient's advocate. We listen to what the physician and the medical staff says, and then we have conversations, you know, with our clients. We help them if they need things translated. We help them figure out how to translate so they best can understand and make the decisions that they need to during the birth, and even after. So just that type of communication, being able to help them understand the lay of the land now is key. Being able to communicate. We have a whole bunch of challenges. I'm not going to go into, we talked about it, so I'm not going to go into details, but I will say that not only do we have the challenge with just everything that's changing in the landscape, but I think as doulas, we're being challenged to make sure that our mindset transitions with it. Some of my doula clients, I have already helped with this in the past before the pandemic, where I really think that we will be valuable and it's beneficial not only to us but to our clients if we come from a public health standpoint. I have talked to some doulas who been doulas for 20 plus years, and they even are talking about the transition of back in the day. They talked about being a birth doula, and that was it, meaning not just being a birth doula, but the journey of being in the hospital, delivering, and that was it. And now we have postpartum, we have the death doulas, we have adoption doulas. There's so many other ways that we can serve. And if we put on that public health lens, again, the social, the mental, the physical, all of those aspects of our life and our health, if we think about all those different areas, then we can see ourselves as doula, how we can serve in those different areas to help, again, with our clients and their families. And so I think that's a challenge for some. It's a challenge for the mindset. For some who are now grappling with how do I get my footing and how do I be a doula in this timing, it's a matter of making sure you have the mindset of that public health mindset to know that there's many, many opportunities out there to make sure that you can address the different areas of life. And so quickly, and I'm not rushing, but I really want to get to the listing of the different strategies. But quickly, I would just say, again, reiterating about communication. And hold on, I think there's somebody trying to get in. Uh-oh, give me 2 seconds. I just don't want to have anybody hanging out that needs to. Oh, okay, yeah. So okay, Raisin. Yes, Rachel, I will be sending it out, so you can go sending out not only these slides, but I'll be sending out the listing, the guide of the 20 different strategies that I want to go into. I'll be sending it out for everybody to have it. So you're certainly welcome to take notes, but you don't have to take copious notes because I'll be sending it to you. So great question. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. And so the first area, so 3 main areas. The first one is communication. So basic things that you should be doing if you're not already doing. You probably preaching to the choir, but you want to make sure that we are communicating with our clients. And basic things: text messages, calls. Some of my clients are more, I would say, hands-on. That's a nice way to say it, than others. And so I have one mom that is like, Bianca, if I don't hear from you 8 o'clock every morning, she's like, I think I'm gonna go crazy in this household. Okay, fine. So I have my alarm set, and literally 8 o'clock, I'm calling her. And I'm like, what's up? How was the night? How was the feeding? Are you sore? Did your Amazon package come in? We helped her order some things to help with her lactation. So that's one option. You can do those calls. You can email, if you want to just blast out an email, you want to do joint emails or group emails, or you want to do individual emails. You can create a newsletter. The point is communicate. And if you are birth doula versus postpartum, or maybe you're doing both, or then you'll have different things that you're communicating. But for those who are on the birth spectrum, you want to make sure you're communicating things about changes of policies. Like I know all my clients where they wanted to give birth, so I know the hospitals in my area, I go constantly at least 2 or 3 times a week. What has changed? Has the visit policy changed? Has like one hospital now they don't park in the parking garage, the labor and delivery side of parking garage, because pregnant women, mothers expecting, they cannot go in that door. They want you to go into the door on the whole other side of the hospital. So there's a new place to park. And so that's type of information that I put out in my emails to my clients. So the point is, do the research as much as you can for them, because even if you were in person, they would be looking to you to help kind of guide them before they even get to the hospital. So you can still do that virtually. Basic communication like that. Let's keep going. And then the postpartum, because of so many things that are changing, our worlds are changing, our lives are changing. I have some clients who I can consider a closed book, meaning I don't interact with them, I'm not contracted with them to help them right now. But I have some clients that have called me that has 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds now that because they're back home, they're in the house working, and they have older children, so they have siblings, and they're trying to do homeschooling for them. They're like, my whole schedule is crazy, it's whack. Bianca, I know you can help me figure out how to do a better schedule, resources about homeschooling. So I even help with that. And that's a new thing within the postpartum realm, is that phase, that timing of when you normally work with postpartum. Check in with some of your older clients. They may need help now. So that's something that I would suggest as basic with communication as well. And one of the things that I'll just say as an example for birth with communication. So I had a client delivering the other day. It was a long delivery. It was almost 15 hours. And so I had my iPad, and I'm helping her, with breathing, I'm helping her affirmations, those sorts of things. But I had communicated earlier with them, and they asked me to keep their family abreast. So the family who was not able to be with them in the hospital, I had, so after she went, she was admitted and things, then I initiated a group chat on my cell phone. And so not every 5 minutes, but probably every 2-3 hours, I made sure that I updated her entire family. So all the grandmas, all the nanas, the cousins, Uncle Jim Bob, and everybody else that they wanted to be aware of what was going on. She's in active labor now. she's doing okay. She's sitting up, she's laying out, she's trying to do a little bit of walking. We're waiting on the epidural. Those types of updates. I made sure that their families were updated, and that's the way virtually, if I was in the room, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that as much because I would have been more active, more involved with her. But now that virtually, I was able to do more communication with the family. Which was something that they were appreciative of. She even wanted, so far as she wanted me to take pictures. So I had my iPad, so I snapped the pictures and I shared it with her family, you know, certainly not below the waist or anything, but, you know, her and her husband were giving the thumbs up signs. That sort of communication with their family not only helped them to know that their family was with them through that way, but it helped the ease of her family. So what I'm saying this all for is to say, basic communication, like keeping in touch with their clients, but talk to them, figure out if there's any sort of communication or any sort of ways that you can help with the larger family as well, support them as they go through this journey. And then I will also say customize, and actually let me come back to that one a little bit. But let's go into community. So this goes, because it connects with what I was just saying about the example of working with texting to her family. So community is another way to really help virtually, something you would probably already do a little bit in person, but I think we can take it up a notch. I've seen a lot of us have success, and a lot of doulas I'm talking about have success by branching out in a larger community, meaning partner with their family, be aware of the services that are available in your community. There are some families who are a little less fortunate, meaning they may be struggling because somebody isn't working or their finances weren't where they thought they would be at this point in time. And so I also, in my newsletter, I put I do a newsletter and email blast, but also communicate local resources from food to there were some other free services. Like there's a couple of lactation consultants in my area that were willing to, that aren't doulas, but they wanted to offer their services, you know, volunteer. And so I connected them with some moms who wanted some more assistance. And so we do a weekly chat, just like this Zoom, where it's a whole bunch of moms and we're talking about lactation all day, you know, within that time. So it's a matter of, as a doula, virtually, we can still provide that value by being a resource with communication, resource with connecting what's going on in the community that can help them in many, many ways. And then lastly is using our network to support them. And one example that I'll use on that is one of my, Tasha, you back in now? One of my clients, doula clients, used to be a caterer. And so one of her things that she does to address with stress, she loves to cook. But she still has a lot of friends who own restaurants or in that industry. And so what she does, and again, she's a doula, but she has some clients who are struggling with meal prep, meal planning, and being able to have, you know, well-rounded, nutritious meals, not just, you know, the fast food kind of thing that can be delivered to the house. And so what she does as a doula now, she offers, so she's partnered with some of her colleagues in the restaurant, you know, industry. And so she has on us a menu, a suite of items, meals that her clients can purchase. They do it through her. She connects all of the different behind the scenes. She can, organizes it, but through her, they can purchase meals and they're delivered right there to their porch. And so it's a little different from doing like a DoorDash or something like that, because it's not from one restaurant. So they deliver smoothies, they deliver meals for kids, like in package, like almost school lunch style, like pre-packaged, like, you know, so literally they just serve the kids, and then they deliver meals for they call it the family style meals. And so she's a doula, and she saw the need for some of her clients with struggling with meal prep and meal planning. And so that's one of the ways that she helps them, again, virtually, using her resources. One of the great things I think about doulas is, you know, and just hearing you all talk and what I already know, we are phenomenal people, phenomenal experiences. Many of us didn't start off just as doulas, you know, we had different careers beforehand. And so, in different experiences and backgrounds that can help serve us. And so one of the things that in this time that's challenging to do us that we can rise to the occasion is think about what it is that we know and figure out how that can help and be of value to these moms. And that's literally customization. That is that. Figure out what else can we add to our packages, our suite of services, whether it's just an add-on feature or whether it's a whole new package that we're offering. Figure out from talking to your family, that communication, what needs do they have? Some needs can be different from others, and be able to diversify. So think outside the box, because I know there's a couple of doulas that I was talking to again last night, and they were like, you know, I never thought that I would ever have to revamp my services. You know, I thought that, you know, I would add to them for more clients, but I never thought like I would be thinking of something that quote unquote is a non-doula service. And it is. This is the time to do it, and you can do it virtually. And so customization. Now let me switch over, and this is what I wanted to get into in great detail, which is the, let's see, literally 20 things that we can do. Can you all see that? The service options? Okay, perfect. So literally, I just wanted to share with you all literally 20 options. And these are things that you can offer to your current clients just within the suite of offerings. Some of us are updating the contracts, and I'm going to do a whole nother sister chat on that because there's some key things that we're finding, and just we as in talking about my clients and my network and speaking with some of the attorneys that we have, that there's a whole bunch of things that we are updating in our contracts that I think everybody should be doing to address the virtual piece. But so you can add these items to your contracts, and as a doula, you can even do online courses, create an online course in these areas, or you can do a video series, you know, pull up your iPhone, record yourself, provide expertise in these areas and do a series and put it on a platform, YouTube or TikTok or whatever else you want to do. So again, this is a way to not only help your current clientele, but for thinking about that future day when we're out the house and back to some sort of normalcy. These are ways that you can also be expanding and building up your network. So here's some listings of things. Baby massages, being able to, if you have the expertise of being able to do massages, I know 2 doulas that do that, they do it, they have their own salon or whatnot, but in spa, so they do that, and now they are targeting to show moms how to do baby massages. Birth arts. And this is a funny story, and I'll just say this quickly, and then I'm going to open it back up for everybody to chat. Birth art. So I didn't really know about birth art, but one of my clients is an artist, is what she does. She loves to do. And one of her clients, moms, enjoys art as well. And so it's something that they set up, and it's a session. It's 30 minutes, and it literally, and they're in a smaller area, so it's not far for her to get to her client. Literally, what she does is go to her client's house, and they're down south, and they do art outside, literally in her driveway. So the mom is on the front porch, and they have their easel, and they are both painting together, and the doula has like every week what they should be doing, what kind of artwork they should be doing, and the supplies I think are like less than $10. But the point is, it gives the mom an outlet to have that interaction with another adult, gives her an outlet to have her creativity and not think about, you know, her milk not coming in or her boobs being sore. The lack of sleep that she had is only like a 30-minute session, so it's not that long. It gets her out in the fresh air, you know, outside. But not only did she do it for this one client, And it just came out of the current conversation of services that she was giving to this client. Now, she told me the other day that there's like 5 other women in the neighborhood, and they all come out. And so every week there's like 5 of them doing it in the driveway. You know, they're all spread out, but they have their own arts. And one of the other women just found out that she's pregnant. And so, of course, she's already talked to their client about being a doula. So you see how just connecting with what you like to do, because if you failed art in high school or college, it's not the time to try to teach somebody else how to do art, right? So all of these suggestions are within your sweet spot, within what you like to do, what's your passionate areas that you can connect to being a doula. So that's what she does. And so that's just an example. So all of these are just recommendations. Anything that resonates with you, figure out how to connect it. Birth affirmation, meditation kits. I know another doula who her voice is just so calming. Like we always talk about it. Her voice is very, very calming. And so she does now recordings of birth affirmations, and she's giving it to all her clients. But then she's also going to like sell it, I think on like Etsy or something like that. I'm like, hey, do you, boo? It works. It's a way to help moms. Self-care packages, cooking, the caterer that I talked about, the doula who's a caterer, she's now doing cooking classes. So she's doing the cooking classes virtually, and then she's doing it where she is just going through a recipe and saying how to do it. But she's going to start soon a cook with me class, meaning it's going to be just like on a Zoom or another platform where she's getting a whole bunch of moms together and they're all going to be cooking the same thing. So it's, again, interaction and a way to you're not out of the house, you're in the house, but you're being entertained, meal planning, journals. Another doula likes to do scrapbooks that I know. And so now she's changing from scrapbooks to journals. It works. It's a way to help the mom get her thoughts out, and that helps with her mental health. One of the things that I do, I already did, everybody knows like meetup.com. Just this regular website you can go on, anybody can go on, create a meetup or grouping, and then folks who are of interest in that same interest area, then you can meet up. I do that anyway in my area. I have a couple of them in strategically in the areas, and they're great. We usually meet like at a Starbucks or Panera Bread or something like that, right? And it's just a different group of moms, and we talk, and we meet once a month, and every time we meet, it's on a different topic. Like the last one that we were able to meet was on nursery. And so the moms brought pictures of, some of them already had their nursery set up, so they brought pictures of the nursery. Some of them just had, the Pinterest boards, talked about what they were looking for. So we talked about, you need to find this here, you need to talk to this person. They do murals and nurseries. So it's just a connection point for moms. And as a doula, it helps me stay abreast of what moms need. It's low cost. I think it's like $20 to have the Meetup platform, and it's a great referral, because a lot of the moms, they're as soon as they find out what the girlfriend is expecting, they say come to the next meetup with them. So anyway, so I say that as that's the simple something as a meetup, low cost, very effective meetup to help moms. Do it virtually. Do something like literally just like this, a virtual Zoom session with a whole bunch of new moms that can come in and they can just talk, and it can be on different topics, or it can be an open forum. But it's a way that you can help moms connect. Then some of the basic quote unquote traditional, as we were talking about with Tia, some of the basic or traditional things you can do, like help with lactation support. You can help with sleep training. I do lactation support. I do sleep training. I've done nursery setups and breastfeeding station setups. Literally, show me, pan around the room with your camera, what's in that corner. Well, let's try if you move the furniture over here, if you put a picture, like literally help them set up their nursery. And also products consultation. So if you have, for example, I did one the other day. I'm in the DC area, right? And so for my clients that are on the train all the time or the metro, the strollers that they need are very different from my clients that are out in the suburbs or the rural area that love to be out on the trails and hiking on things. And those strollers that they need for that are different than the ones that you need, the lightweight strollers that you need that are flexible and that you can quickly, pull up, pull down, before the train door closes. So being able as a doula, knowing your community, knowing what's available as in services, and knowing products that you can recommend and based on the needs of their family, all of these things you can package in different ways virtually and support your current clientele and your future clientele. So again, I'll email this all out to everybody, but literally these are 20 ways that can be helpful for you as doulas that you can try it virtually. Car seat selection and safety checks are something that I've done. Literally, these are things that you can get trained on. Newborn safety measures, like within the house, what are the things that they need to maybe address that can help make the household, the rooms safer for the newborn and as they mature and as they grow. So literally, these are just starting points. And the whole point is I want to make sure that everybody is aware that we are empowered. There are tons of opportunities out here for us to continue to be of value to our clients. There's many ways, whether you're partnering, doing it by yourself, or whether you're partnering with those in your network, you can do it. Just be proactive, make sure you're available, but communicating with your clients, and think outside of the box. Think outside of the box. I've really work hard with my doula clients to make sure that they're connecting with their passions and their needs of their moms. Once they do that, I'm telling you, they're always are hired. They're always are being referred out, and there always are booked and being able to be of service like they want to as a doula. And that won't stop just because we're virtually. In fact, it could increase more with using any of these strategies. And there's a whole bunch of more. And if none of those things on that list resonates with you, call me. Because we can talk. I bet you within a day, we'll figure out something that you can do to really connect with yourself and connect with your community. And so I just wanted to thank you all for being with me, and let me open it back up. I think we have a couple folks in the chat. So let me do two things. Let me unmute everybody. So okay, so let me just unmute everybody. Let's see. Oh, okay, we got a couple things going on in the chat. All right, okay, so everybody's unmuted. Sorry, I thought I was gonna be able to look at the chat, but clearly I did an awful job of that. Sorry, y'all. So, okay, let me go up to the top. If anybody has a question, just go ahead and call it out because I'm having trouble getting to the top of the chat, so I don't want to ignore anybody's. Okay, let me go. Okay, I got it working. Okay, so yeah, I'll send this out. Let's see that first. We'll be posting the slides. Yep, I'll send it out. If I don't get to it today, I'll definitely get it in the morning. Oh, you gotta get to a labor. Oh, exciting. Go ahead, do your labor. Awesome ideas. Thank you. Exciting. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so honored that y'all are here with me. And that is so oh, Rowan, you are doing a virtual mom group. Love it.
I haven't, but I've only ever had one mom. I've been holding it weekly on Thursdays at 1 p.m. I advertise all over Facebook, but I've only ever had one mom.
You know what I found that helps me the most with getting for local events like that, in-person events, actually is not social media at all. It's one, you know, those small newsletters and magazines that you find like at the grocery stores, you know, right, you're going in and out the grocery stores. Those ads are like $2. Well, not $2, but I'm saying very inexpensive. Those have actually provided more response than like a social media campaign. Also, connecting with churches and community groups in the area and just saying, you know, this is a service offering that you can provide to your parishioners or whoever else, and it spreads like wildfire. As well as the third has been women's organizations, women's groups in the area, whether it's through a sorority, whether it's through a volunteer group, whatever it is, communicating with them, just sending an email to whoever is the chair or the community liaison director for those organizations, just saying this is an offering that's available, it's free, you know, it's come when you want to kind of thing, and it spreads like wildfire. Those have been ways that I have been able to have consistently at least about 12, 15 women in my area that are able to show up. But we only do it once a month too, so it may be a frequency thing as well.
Okay.
Tasha, oh, thank you, Tasha. Yana, yeah, call me, let me know, email me if you all need any other assistance. So what I want to do, let me not lie. I know I said next week.
You don't want to start right here and start with
So what I want
C.
to do, and you all let me know if this is something you're interested in, because I have others who weren't able to join today. So what I want to do is, I don't mind if you all don't mind, you all have the time to join. Every Friday at noon, I'm just going to try to do the sisterhood, you know, where we can talk about topics. I have topics that people are always talking to me about. I can share that, or if anybody has anything in particular that you want to throw on the table, let me know in advance, and I can try to prepare things and we can share with that way. So next Friday, I want to talk about training, because a lot of the things, like even if we go through this list and you find there's areas that you're interested in, some of us are in a situation where like, well, you know, I want some more training. Like I don't, you know, in the past you didn't do sleep training. So where do you go get training to be able to do that and to serve in that capacity, or the car seat training? How do you do that? So I want to next Friday just talk about some of those training offerings that we as doulas can hop on right now. It's great that a lot of organizations that in the past you had to do it in person, they're offering online now, and even some are offering at discounted prices. So I want to talk about training offerings next Friday, and then how to pay for them. That's the other thing. If you have a decreased income right now because of everything, then taking $1,000 course may not be an option for you. So there's some ways to figure out how to fund some of those trainings. So those are things I want to talk about next Friday. And I'm willing to continue the chats for us to get together and throw out ideas and connect Fridays at noon if it works for you all. So I just wanted to share that as well. I want to know. Oh, and I also wanted to say that in May, around Mother's Day, I am going to launch a doula community. It's been by special request. I've been getting a lot of folks that are saying, I'll put out these 20 ideas to you all. Let me mute because they said somebody's talking. Okay, so I muted you all because somebody said that somebody's really loud. So I'm going to, the membership group, which is a community, doula community, is we launched in May, and it's by special request because I have a lot of resources. I have a lot of templates for like proposals for, you know, if you're a doula, you want to partner with a healthcare facility or a midwife in the area, you know, when you go to pitch your services and pitch being a partner with them, what does that look like? You know, what's successful? What kind of information should you share in that proposal? And because of my background in healthcare administration, I can tell you whether it's a pharmaceutical rep or somebody else coming, when they came and said they had a pitch, I ignored it. I didn't have time. I didn't want 5 minutes, if that. And so I know that what to hit and quit it, and that's successful. So those types of templates and tools I do have a lot of. And so the doula community that I'm talking about that's going to be launched in May is just an area where we're going to have formal training. So not just me getting on here and chatting, but formal training, templates, interviews with other doulas across the country, interviews with midwives as well, because having a partnership, you all know, as being a doula, you can't do it by yourself. You got to have a network of backup doulas, because one day you're going to be sick. You're not going to be able to get to that birth, or you're not going to be able to get to that postpartum visit. You're going to need to be able to call in somebody that you know, that you trust, that's reputable, that's in your area, that you will feel comfortable with working with your clients. So that type of information is also be available in that doula community. So again, more information to that can come on that. But let me know if there's any topics that you all want to add to our Friday sisterhood chats. And again, I'm willing to host this and open this space and allow us to do this as long as you all think we need to do it. You know, this is literally all of us. We're all connected and we're all on this journey together. So with that, I said 45 minutes and we're all up to an hour. So I honor you all, and I won't hold you over another minute unless there's anybody that has a burning question. I can chat with you now, or just send me an email and we can set up some time to have a one-on-one to make sure we're good to go.
I will definitely email you
Okay.
to have one-on-one, just because I feel so new and I have just a few more questions that we can set up a time for later. It is a lot of background chatter.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you all. I won't hold you up because I know people are busy and they've got other things going on in the background, but let me know. I am here, and I will send out this information that we went over today, as well as, I think it'll have to be a different Zoom link next Friday. If you want to join, I'll put all that in the email as well. Thank you all. I'm honored that you're here with me.
So
Thank
I
you.
was trying